Hey guys, it's Dory and Nicole back with another video. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you love it here and want to stay and want to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. If you have been watching my videos, then you know that we have been doing our home edition videos where I have been showing you guys my DIY walk-in closet. But today we are interrupting our home edition videos to bring you a new real estate video, because of course that is what I do. For those of you who don't know, I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Pennsylvania. So today will be a real estate video and we will be talking about the first 5 things you should do after passing the real estate licensing exam. So even though I am a agent only in PA, these things apply wherever you are getting licensed. They are universal. I feel like every agent should do them as soon as they get licensed, or I'm sorry, as soon as they pass the exam. Everybody knows, okay, I take the classes, I register for the exam, study for the exam, take the exam, and then boom, like now what? Nobody really tells you what comes right after that. It's just a whole bunch of scrambling, a whole bunch of phone calls from brokerages that want to hire you to be their agent, and it gets a little crazy. So I am here to give you the top 5 things that I think every agent should do after passing the real estate licensing exam. So if you are interested and if you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, then you should definitely continue watching this video. Getting fucked up tonight. So the first thing, number 1, that you should do after passing the real estate licensing exam is choose a brokerage. Okay, so choosing a brokerage, it can be easy, it can be hard. It really depends on how much research you've done, what you're looking for, and you know what type of experience you want as an agent, what you're expecting from your brokerage. So once you pass the licensing exam, your information goes out to everybody in the real estate industry just about, and you will start receiving phone calls from brokerages that are, you know, selling their brokerage, telling you a little about their brokerage, why they think you should work there. And it's important to note that when choosing a brokerage, is really, the decision is yours. It's up to you. You are ultimately interviewing brokerages, because at the end of the day, you can work wherever you want to work with whatever brokerage you want to work, no matter how big the name, no matter how small the name. Once you pass the real estate licensing exam, you have the ability to work with any brokerage that you want to work with. So it is very important that you're really interviewing these brokerages, like really asking the important questions. A lot of people just think about money. They want to know what the splits are, the caps, and all that stuff. But it's important to also find out what type of training the brokerage offers, any classes, what type of environment you'll be working in, because all of those things are also important to your real estate career. Like, once you pass the real estate licensing exam, it's basically like, it's up to you. You get thrown out to the wolves. I hate to say it like that because that's usually a negative term or a bad term, but you really do get thrown out to the wolves, because you can't really learn the business until you start doing it. Like, the way real estate works is you have to actually, I can explain something to you and I can tell you, oh, this is what's required, this is the process, but until you really go through it yourself, it's just words coming from me. Like, you may understand a little bit, but you won't really understand until you start to do the work. And so it's important to pay attention to what the brokerage offers, and not just, okay, you get 100% of your commission. Like, yeah, you may get 100% of your commission, but are you learning the industry? Is anybody teaching you? Do you have a mentor? Are there classes? Like, how are you really learning to be the best agent? That's what's important. That's what you have to take into consideration. So I would say definitely interview brokerages, even if you have a relationship with a brokerage, or even if you know a brokerage by name. Like, I work for Keller Williams. Everybody knows Keller Williams because it's one of the top brokerages, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good fit for everybody. So just because a brokerage has a big name and they're well known, that does not necessarily mean that you're automatically going to be a good agent at that brokerage. So like I said, it's important to scout your brokerages to make sure that you are going with the best brokerage for what you are trying to do with your business, with your brand in the industry. Like, all of that stuff is really, really important. There are some brokerages who offer websites and apps and all different types of things that are essential to running your real estate business, and a lot of brokerages don't offer the same things. So it's really, really important to be mindful about what brokerage you choose, because the worst thing you want to do is choose a brokerage without doing any research, without talking to the brokerage, without talking to other agents that work for the brokerage, which is also very important. They pick a brokerage without doing any of those things, and then a year or so later they want to change brokerages because they believe that the brokerage isn't a good fit for them. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing, because sometimes you go into it saying, I've interviewed this brokerage, I've talked to people, I've, spent a little time there, and I really, really like the brokerage. You could do that and choose your brokerage and still end up choosing another brokerage later on down the line. But at least you did the back work. At least you know for sure you thought this was a good fit for you, and now you realize that it's not. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it is a big mistake to just choose a brokerage on a whim. Like, the first person that calls you saying that they're with ABC Brokerage, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to work with you guys. Like, that's not the way to do it. So number one, choose a brokerage, but be very, very mindful about how you choose your brokerage and which brokerage you choose, because it'll definitely make or break your real estate career. The second thing that you should do after passing the real estate licensing exam is to educate yourself. And when I say educate yourself, I mean on all fronts, in every aspect. Know the industry, know the business, know what you're doing. And of course, you're not going to learn all of that overnight, but I think agents make the mistake of, and let me say this, y'all, here I come with my disclaimers, always with my disclaimers, but let me say this, let me make this disclaimer. Me giving this advice is really like because I've been through it myself. You know what I mean? So when I say that most agents don't do this or most agents didn't do that, I'm usually talking about myself, okay? So I don't want anybody to watch this and think that I know it all, or I have all the answers, or I'm the best real estate agent. No, that's not what this is. I am telling you from my experience, the mistakes that I made, the things that I looked over, the things that I didn't really pay attention to, and now that I am 3 years in, I realize and I know. So, I'm giving that advice. So I just wanted to put that out there. When I say most agents don't, I'm not bringing anybody down or putting anybody down or anything like that, because I've also made these mistakes. So yes, most agents, including myself, don't take the time to really do these things, which is why I'm trying to give you the tools and the gems and the knowledge that you need to succeed, okay? So, anywho, I was saying most agents make the mistake of not really taking the time out to educate themselves, not really taking classes or taking trainings and learning what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. There is a lot that goes into being an agent and being in real estate and being responsible for huge transactions like buying a house or renting or commercial. There is a lot to know. Like, this is legal stuff that you are dealing with as an agent. So it's very, very important that you educate yourself. So you want to make sure that you are going to trainings if your brokerage offers trainings. If your brokerage doesn't offer trainings, then I would say YouTube University is your best friend. YouTube University is my best friend. So definitely do your research, watch YouTube videos, listen to other agents, go to seminars. Like, you really want to be well versed in what you're doing. You really want to dive into the real estate industry, because it's easy to just kind of go through the motions of transactions and things like that. But then you learn, as you get deeper into your career, you learn that you don't really know the business. You don't really know the ins and outs that will really make you the best agent. And I feel like if you take the time to do that in the beginning, it'll make a world of a difference in your career in the long run. A lot of us agents, we wait until, you know, we're a couple years in, and then we're like, oh shit, I probably should take a step back and figure out what I'm doing. Like, that's the crazy part about it. When you get licensed as an agent, like I said, you're really out there to the wolves. So if you get licensed today and tomorrow somebody calls you like, can you help me find a house? Absolutely. You can say yes. And so you say yes the day after getting licensed, but what have you learned? You've gone to no trainings, you've talked to no mentors, you don't have any guidance. Like, you're just out here ready to do real estate. And of course, you know, you take the classes and you study for the exam and you learn that way, but it's a totally different world once you actually start doing real transactions from what you learn when you're studying for the exam. Like, yes, that stuff is helpful, that stuff is useful, but in all reality, the real knowledge and the real gems, the real things that you need to learn about the business come from hands-on, come from learning, comes from taking classes and doing research and looking over paperwork and, you know, going online to find different, there are so many forums. Oh, I can't even get into that right now, but it's just so much that people don't take into consideration. And so if you start educating yourself from day one, you will learn so much and you will be ready for, because so much comes at you, so you will be ready for the things that come at you if you educate yourself. It's very important to educate yourself in the beginning. Don't be like me. Don't wait until you're 3 years in. I mean, I didn't do too bad on educating myself. I think I just didn't make the time to educate myself. And I think that's the other thing, is making the time to do these things. Like, you want to succeed. That's the point of becoming a real estate agent. You want to be successful, you want to make money, and in order to do those things, you have to know what you're doing and you have to know what you're talking about, because eventually you will just be out here on your own. And if you want to go down the path of becoming an agent and then becoming a broker, you have to really know the industry and really know the business, especially since things change all the time. Things change every day in real estate. Every time I look up there, I get an email about a new form, a new rule, a new regulation. Like, things are always changing. And so even if you've been in business for 10 or 15 years, like, you should continue to educate yourself. It's not just something that you do in order to get licensed and then that's it. It continues from there. That's why we have to take continuing education courses, because we have to stay up to date with all the changes going on in the industry, all the changes going on in the market, all the changes going on in the world. Like, we have to stay up to date with those things in order to be able to provide the best service to our clients. So education is very important. The next thing you should do after passing your real estate licensing exam is to tell everyone and anyone you know. Seriously, you want to tell everybody. I don't care, school, work, home, family, friends, acquaintances, social media. You want to let everybody know that you are a licensed real estate agent, that you are now in the real estate business, and if they need help selling, renting, buying, whatever, you are there to help them. That is the only way to really build your business, really get yourself out there, really be able to attract people and get clients, is to tell everyone that you are now in real estate. From my experience, what I've learned working in real estate is that a lot of people don't know about the process. They don't know, like, they know they want to buy a house, but they don't know where to start. They know they want to rent a house or an apartment or whatever. They don't know where to start. They may be looking to move and want to sell their house, but they don't know where to start. And so if you're constantly reminding people, or you're telling people that you're a licensed agent, you can help them, you can assist them, you're giving them tips and doing all of these things, and they will know that they can come to you because you are a licensed agent. If you don't tell anybody, nobody knows. So it's important to tell everybody that you're licensed. Don't be scared to like put yourself out there. I think I mentioned in one of my previous real estate videos that I am the type of person who is hesitant about putting myself out there as a real estate agent, because I don't want it to be like I'm being pushy and I'm trying to force people to work with me. I want it to be a very like genuine connection for somebody to be like, I want you to be my real estate agent. But at the same time, in order for me to keep getting clients, I have to let people know what my business is and what I do. I know it's weird because it's weird for me, but anywhere you go, any encounter, any interaction, you should always be telling people that you're a real estate agent, that you're a licensed real estate agent. You want them to think of you first when it's time for them to buy or to sell or to rent or invest. You want to be that first point of contact. You want to be that first thought, but that can only happen if you're telling people that you're an agent. If they don't know, they can't come to you. That's basically what it boils down to. And in keeping in flow with the tell everybody points, the next thing that you should do after getting licensed is develop a marketing plan, a marketing strategy. Figure out how you want to brand yourself, and really you should be doing this prior to, like, once you decide that you want to become a real estate agent, before you start taking classes, or once you start taking classes, but definitely before you take the exam and get licensed, you should start developing your marketing plan. You can start developing your marketing plan. It's probably better to do it earlier rather than later, so that you'll already have your vision. Because when you wait and try to like develop it as you go, that's when you run into issues. That's when you have a lot of, okay, let's try this and see if it works, and then it doesn't work, and it's okay, let's try this and see if it works, rather than you just already having it mapped out and knowing how you want to brand yourself, how you want to market yourself, what you want people to or how you want people to know you, what you want people to think of when they see you. If you have all of those things planned out beforehand, it is definitely a plus. But it's never too late to start developing your marketing plan. What you want your business cards to look like, what you want your flyers to look like, your postcards. Are you going to send out marketing for holidays? Do you want to be on email rotations with your clients? Like, these are all the things that you should start to develop before, or not too far ahead of time, but once you know that this is what you want to do, once you know that you want to be a licensed real estate agent, you should really start developing your marketing strategy and your marketing plan. Because like I said, once you pass the licensing exam and you choose your brokerage, you can start doing business tomorrow. So why not already have your marketing strategy, already have your business plan, everything laid out, so that it can be a smooth transition and you can gracefully move into real estate instead of just like abrupt, like, okay, I'm a real estate agent, and it's just like, oh, okay, like it's better to have a plan. It's better to have a strategy, because like I said, social media is number one for attracting clients, number one for getting clients, finding people to work with. You want to be very intentional about how you brand yourself and how you promote yourself, because it's always harder to rebrand than it is to brand. And so if you start branding yourself one way and then you realize, okay, this doesn't work for me, this is not what I see for myself, this is not how I want to market myself, then you have to kind of go back to square one and rebrand yourself. And people have to forget about all of the old marketing or the old whatever, and now pay attention to your new strategy, your new plan, your new brand image, or whatever the case may be. So if you have those things planned out from the beginning or early on, it's much easier to move into being an agent. So it's important that in the beginning you focus on your brand and have your strategy and your marketing and all of that out of the way, so that you can really focus on being an agent when that time comes. And the last thing that you should do after you pass your licensing exam is to get started. You want to hit the ground running. Open houses, showings, like I said, trainings, whatever you can do in the realm of real estate, you want to do it. Brokers opens, you'll start getting a ton of emails with information. You want to go to conferences, you want to go to seminars, you want to do all of these things so you can really put yourself out there. Like I said, learn the business, learn other agents, connect, communicate, network. Like, these are the things that you should be doing right away, because it's the best way to build your business quickly. So don't hold back. A lot of people, once they get licensed, they are kind of like timid and they don't really want to jump out there because they don't know much or things like that. But none of that matters. Get out there, and once people see you putting yourself out there and making the effort, you will find that there are people who are willing to help you. There are other agents who will be willing to show you the ropes because they see that you're serious. And so hit the ground running. Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't say, okay, well, I don't think I want to do that, I don't think I want to do this, or I'm not sure. You don't know until you start to do. And so you want to put yourself out there, you want to get started right away so that you can learn all that there is to learn, see all that there is to see, and really figure out what part of the real estate world you want to be in. Find your niche and really go for it, really go at it. And learning the business, all of this will help you to find your niche and really figure out what avenue or what aspect of real estate you want to do. Because some people do, they make that decision early on. They say, okay, well, I don't want to work with renters, or I only want to work with renters, or I want to work with first-time home buyers only, or I want to do investment, I want to do commercial. Like, people who make those decisions early on, they really set themselves up for success because they have a vision. They know where they're going. They know what the plan is. So it's easier for them to stay focused, rather than if you just jump out there with no plan, no strategy, no knowledge, no nothing. You're kind of like figuring it out as you go. So like I said, really hit the ground running. If this is what you want to do, if this is what you are interested in, definitely take these things into consideration. Choose your brokerage. Be smart about which brokerage you choose and what you plan to do in this brokerage. Educate yourself. Learn as much as you can. Always do your research. Always watch videos. Always go to training. Just educate yourself as much as you can. Tell everybody you know that you are now a licensed real estate agent. Family, friends, co-workers, social media, acquaintances, your neighbor, the lady you sit next to on the bus every day. Tell everybody that you are a licensed real estate agent so that they know if they ever need any help with anything pertaining to real estate, you are the person that they should call. Develop a good marketing strategy early on so that you can brand yourself well and won't have to spend time rebranding later on down the line. And get started as soon as possible. Everybody says that a majority of agents do not make it past their first year, let alone their second year. And so if you are somebody who does not want that to be you, you should definitely follow these 5 tips. You definitely should get started on these things as soon as you pass your licensing exam. So that is my video for today. I feel like I do say all of these things in all of my real estate videos, so this is nothing new. If you are not new to my channel, you know that I tell you these things in all of my real estate videos. So take this advice, these first 5 steps. If you are thinking about becoming a licensed agent, then this video is definitely for you. If you have questions about the licensing process, as far as classes, as far as getting licensed, the exam, or what to do after, drop a comment below. Let me know what you would like to know about the process. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I will know to keep posting videos like these. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay in the know with what your girl got going on. I will be back soon with the rest of my home edition DIY videos, but in the meantime, you may see another real estate video from me. So hit that subscribe button, like I said, stay in the know, and I will see you all on the next video.